inner growth has one practice that is so efficient, that is so good, that it trumps all other practices. It might even be so good that it can be called the mother of all practices. So today I'd like to explore this practice with you so that you can understand it and apply it in your own life. So before we start about the practice, let's check in to see if your orientation towards life is optimal. Because you see, so many people are oriented towards life in the wrong way. Many people try to have a good life by having nothing bad happen, by trying to shape their life in such a way that all challenges are gone, that only good things happen, and that everything is stable and permanent. But that's not the right way to live life. Because everybody in life has good things happening and bad things, opportunities and challenges, good things, nice people, bad people. That's life. We don't want life always beautiful and positive. It would be too boring. And you know what happens when it's too boring? The energy drops, energy goes down. Life needs to have an edge to it. So in order to have a good life, it's not about the circumstances. It is about how you deal with those circumstances, how you can manage your own energy in order to deal with life. That makes a good life. Opportunities you need to seize, challenges you need to confront. You need to go over them, through them, around them. In other words, deal with them. That makes a good life. So keeping that in mind, what we will be talking about today is how your inner energy is in a direct relationship with outer energy. So inner energy could also be called emotion, feeling. And the word emotion comes from the Latin word emovere, which means movement. In other words, it means that if you experience an emotion inside of you, your energy is out of balance, out of equilibrium, out of peace. If you are aware of your environment, just as it is, and you feel nothing, then you are at peace, aren't you? And then something happens, could be something positive or something negative, and your energy moves. Now you feel something, right? This is an emotion. This is a feeling, a response to what happens on the outside. Now, if we are very focused on the outside, having everything perfect, then we are unaware of what happens on the inside. And that makes the inside much more vulnerable and much more shaky. And the slightest thing that happens on the outside changes us on the inside. And that change on the inside is actually where it matters. Because what would something mean on the outside if it does not have a representation inside? What does it mean to win $1 million if you don't feel anything on the inside? Nothing, right? But what does a cup of coffee mean if it makes you feel great? Everything, right? Feeling is everything. The inside experience is everything. And inner and outer work together. So every day when you experience life, do this one practice. When something happens in your life of meaning something that moves you, either it be positive or negative, it doesn't matter, but it does something to you, it moves something in you, then become aware of what it does on the inside. Become aware of the movement inside as a reaction of the movement outside. When you do this, more and more precisely, more efficiently, more completely, very special things happen. I'm not going to explain to you what exactly happens, because I don't want to take away of the purity of this experience. This is something that you have to do. But in the beginning, it might not be that significant, because for many people we have to get used to doing this. But if you do this with diligence and with precision and as good as you can, then it will start, then this feeling inside of you, the response inside of you, will expand in your consciousness. It will become more and more clear what happens on the inside. And that's when the pot of gold becomes visible. When you become really, really aware of that which happens inside of you. What you will see is that whatever you can see inside of you cannot be what you are. And I won't go any further than that. But that is what you will realize, because obviously what you can experience you cannot be, because there is the experiencer and that which is experienced, right? If you want to know the truth of reality, then we have to start inside of ourselves, because it is we who create reality. More precisely, what we create is the experience of reality. It's not so that our mind, our thinking, creates reality outside, but it creates the way we experience reality. Reality changes if we change. And the more we know ourselves, the more we purify our vision. And we take away the conditioning and the filters that make us experience actually just ourselves in the world, and we start to see the world as it is. To see the world as it is, we start with ourselves. And the bonus of seeing life as it is that we clean ourselves out. We clean away our own filters that murky up our vision. We clean away the conditionings, the perceptions that make life other than what it is. Most people don't realize this, but what they experience as the world is actually themselves. When we are not aware of what happens inside, then this energy of conditioning is so strong that it's projected outward, and the world takes on the shape, the form, the experience of the inside world. So by looking inside, we see the conditioning of the body and the mind, which is part of being human. But when we see it, we are loose from it. And we see the body, we see the human being, we see our own avatar, our own expression in form, just like we see the world outside. You will see that there is no difference between the world and this body with its conditioning. That is when your consciousness expands. It all starts with yourself. Look inside yourself and you see the world.